recording.
You see your hands?
Yeah.
Torn gloves. Poor torn gloves.
Okay, I guess you can start talking about cutting roses.
You can start making cuttings even in November. Make cuttings over your rose bushes, and the time to trim them is around Valentine's, or you can even do it before Valentine's. And if you have, the best time to plant your cutting is when your ground is wet, where you can just stick your rose cutting down into the ground. But here we didn't have any rain, so I have to make a hole with a screwdriver and wet it, and then
Looks like you got it pretty deep.
water it.
How deep was that?
And you want to put it 3-4 inches or whatever, and you usually put like 3 cuttings, one there, and one in front, at least 3 in case one doesn't take you. You'll have one. And sometimes the ground is hard, but if you would have had it rain, it would have been soft to put them in there. And then after you've planted them, and they have enough water and it's wet, you do not water your roses. Let nature water them on their own. The Lord will provide the rain. And you do not chop around the roses or the roots, because they do not want to be disturbed. So if you have any weeds, you pull the weeds with your hands around the roses. Keep them clean, because when you plant these roses, you do not fertilize roses for 2-3 years, but necessary sometimes you don't even have to fertilize them. I may ever fertilize them. I may after I've had mine. 10 years or so, I fertilized.
Hang on, let
Fertilized them
blower go finish.
I fertilized them with liquid Miracle Grow. What? Just stick the cutting in there, and you go down till you hit ground when you're doing the cutting. And when you make your cuttings, use stronger stem. Do not use little weak ones like this. See, these are too thin. Use thicker ones. And if you don't have thicker ones, to put more thin ones together, but the thick ones do better.
They have to be cut a certain angle or spot.
When you trim your roses,
Down lower.
When you trim your roses, I'm just going to show you. This little thing is called an eye. So when you're trimming your roses on your bush, you cut right above that eye. How tall you want to have them? Like I cut some here. See, like right here, this had sprouted already, so I cut it above where it started growing. And these I'm planting in my daughter Susan's flower bed.
Don't say any more names.
And I have planted Planted some in that other rose bed. These I planted last year. These have been a few years before. And roses never freeze, so you don't have to worry about roses. And they like a place where there is sunshine. You want to plant them in the sunshine, where they'll have good sunlight. And then when you do put your cuttings in the ground, you put your dirt around it and close up the dirt around it so it doesn't have pockets around it. Are we done?
How long have you been doing roses?
I've been doing roses since 1950. 55 or 56 when we moved to our house. I have given roses to many friends, neighbors, relatives. They're all over different towns in Texas. I think some went to Oklahoma from my friend's yard. She had friends in Oklahoma, and when she was at her house one summer, they were in full bloom, and she wanted to know what nursery she got them from, and she said she got them from her friend Georgie. Bring me the bloom, I'll show the bloom that you had ready for the cup. This is one kind of rose here, and then some of these are, some people call them Seven Sisters or sweetheart roses. They're little tiny roses, and there's a cluster of about 15, 20 on one little stem. But this is a different group of roses, but these will have bloom, and they bloom and bloom. And as I say, roses never freeze. So you want to plant them where they have some sunlight. Now when you do the cuttings, you get your dirt around them, and they need to be where they're not down in a deep. They like to have the dirt up higher where the water can run off if you have too much rain. And then when you plant them, you close around the stem so there's no air pockets. And close it up.
And what did you say about not supposed to tell you a certain thing? Not supposed to tell you something for doing this?
What?
You're not supposed to say 2 words to you about doing this?
Oh, I don't know if it's a wife tales, but if you give cuttings to somebody or they said they shouldn't thank you. I don't know if it's the wife tales, but I always say don't thank me for it. They might not grow. But then maybe a wife's tale. I don't know. Being this ground was dry, I had to pour water. But if we would have had a rain and this ground was wet, I would not even need this screwdriver. All I would have done is took this stem and put it in there, whoopsie, you know, like this, because it would have gone in that ground real easy where it would have been wet. Now, I haven't wetted it. See, like right here, if it's wet, it would have gone down. But being this is dry, I had to use the screwdriver to make the holes. And this makes a good hole maker, the screwdriver. So hello, this is me.
Do that again, let's see.
We got it down low. Hi, I'm planting the roses.
Oh, you weren't quite there.
I wasn't?
Uh-uh.
Well, can you tilt it up?
No, I'm not touching it.
No, Mom.
No.
And we cleaned out the flower beds. And there's some more weeds up here. I guess I'm done. Is it going to be running?
I'm going to have him,
Is it running on empty now?
I'll have him take this and then go, you can go talk about the ones you planted about a month ago.
I have one more spot here, one more water.
One more spot to what?
I got two left, 3 here.
I'll put them on the other side then.
Where? Right here is a spot.
I didn't think there.
I know you didn't water it, but you want them there? I think you got plenty there.
No, have a look.
I know, but I didn't know where you wanted there. You do the cuttings the same, but one thing I forgot to mention, when you cutting, you're going to have these little leaves on them all through here. So you trim all those cuttings off when you plant them in the ground. I left my cutter over there, but I can twinch it off. But best thing is cut them off, because if you don't cut them off, they take the energy into those leaves, and then your roots do not get strong. Then you put them in your hole where it's wet, like we showed over there, as far as it'll hit ground. Sometimes, if it's too wet, and you have to remember the way you cut your cutting so you don't plant it in there upside down. There's a certain way these little things come out that shows you they're the top. And you stick them down till you get to the ground again. Sometimes you have a little piece left. I planted them at a friend's house, and her husband had her to water the ground, and it was so wet I had 1.5 inches on top, but they did fine. I think this one's not going to have much left. And like I have to water these because we didn't have rain here for a while, and the ground is hard. But these, like these cuttings, see, these were planted in November. You can see the new leaves there, and there's some over there. Those were planted. This is February. No, first part of March, and this is November, December, January, February. 3 months ago, they're all sprouted so pretty. See, all of these, they're growing good. And these bushes will grow that tall. The ones I showed you, the pink one, you can even trim your bush round if you like a pretty shape. I have a flower bed where I have, just a round, big bush of them. And the roses never freeze. You don't have to cover them. You don't have to worry about them freezing or anything.
In Texas.
Huh?
In Texas?
In Texas, yeah. This is in Texas. Richmond, Texas, west of Houston. But Texans have many people plant roses in Texas. And like I say, they like the sunshine. And right now, this dirt that I'm planting this at my daughter's is not the very best dirt because she got too much sand here. But And like I say, do not fertilize the ground or the roses. Don't fertilize them for years. Then when they're established, maybe in 4 or 5 years, if you just want to fertilize them with liquid Miracle-Gro on top, when they start, like they're going to start putting out buds. I noticed right here there's a little bud already coming out where I planted. But this is a new, these were just planted in November. See, so you would not fertilize these for 3-4 years at least or more. In fact, I don't fertilize my roses. I just let them grow. And if you have a hot summer, you could put some mulch around them if you'd like. I like to use that hardwood mulch to put around. And if you wanted to, mulch your flower bed where you wanted to keep the weeds out, you could put some mulch there after you do your cuttings. Some mulch where they...
Looks like they're in there, huh?
Where the rain would go through it. And then when you got your dirt there, you're gonna, knock the water over. And I have to water these pretty good because it's so dry while I'm doing the cutting. This is kind of sandy soil here. It's not the best for roses. I'm hoping I think down there is better, blackland or something better. Where the bottom got. Then you kind of close around it so that it doesn't get no air pockets. And we are done.
Awesome.
You wipe this off on the grass, huh?